Sometimes the hardest passwords to unlock aren't made of numbers or letters, but memories. This is the story of Ellen Warren, a woman who lost her husband and found herself inside the coded shadows of his secrets. A story of betrayal and discovery, of courage rising from heartbreak, and of how one woman learned to turn pain into power in a digital world that had left her behind. Tonight, I invite you to listen closely to a tale where loss meets revelation, and a widow learns that her greatest key was within her all along. Asterisk, in the hushed dawn light of Palo Alto, the world seemed to hum differently. The neighborhood lined with trees older than its tenants woke to the soft sound of sprinklers, electric cars, and the faint click of Ellen Reeves's teacup against porcelain. She sat at her kitchen table, still in her robe, her hair loosely tied, a woman unmoored between two worlds, the one she had lived in and the one she had been left with. Her husband, Peter Reeves, had died 3 weeks earlier, a silent cardiac arrest in his sleep. No drama, no farewell, just a sudden absence that left every corner of their glass-walled home echoing. For 32 years, they had shared the rhythm of academics and ambition. He, the tech visionary with a knack for invention. She, the librarian who built meaning out of words, not algorithms. Now, the house was hers. And so was everything in it. The will had been clear, shares in his tech startup, a portfolio of assets, and a sleek silver MacBook, the one he guarded like a vault. Ellen had never touched it before. She had her own aging Dell, dusty with library stickers and post-it reminders. But that morning, as light spilled across the marble counter, the laptop called to her like an unfinished sentence. When she opened it, it greeted her not with the familiar password she expected, but with a prompt. Enter passphrase for encrypted drive. She tried birthdays, anniversaries, their children's names, even the name of their golden retriever, Baxter. Nothing. Then she noticed something, a faint smudge on the keyboard, worn on the keys E, L, N, and P, her initials. And the P for Peter. She typed LNP5 8 dot, the screen blinked once, then opened. What unfolded wasn't a simple desktop of files, it was a world. A labyrinth of projects, emails, encrypted folders, and buried in a folder titled private_dev_2021, a thread of messages. Between Peter and someone named Lydia and Austin.Lydia, the prototype's ready, sending you the hash key. Peter, make sure the wallet is split 3 ways. Ellen can't see this yet. Lydia, she won't. She doesn't even know what blockchain is. Ellen stared at the screen. The words pulsed in her vision. Not just betrayal, condescension, the digital echo of a secret life. Lydia. The name lingered like perfume. She clicked deeper. There were designs, financial ledgers, and messages that shifted from technical to personal photos, plans, hotel receipts. It wasn't just an affair, it was a partnership. A second startup. A second life. For hours, Ellen sat frozen, her tea gone cold. The woman who had spent her career cataloging the stories of others was now trapped in her own, a mystery she never wanted to read. In the days that followed, grief gave way to curiosity, and curiosity became resolve. She printed the emails, traced the transactions, even Googled basic coding terms just to understand the structure of what she was reading. Blockchain, wallet keys, smart contracts, asterisk. At first, it was foreign like reading another language, but Ellen had always been good at patterns. Cataloging was her craft. She started attending free online workshops, hiding her trembling hands behind notepads as young instructors spoke in rapid jargon. She made flashcards of acronyms API, DAO, and after learning the alphabet of the new world her husband had died inside. Every night, the house glowed with the blue light of her laptop. Neighbors assumed she was watching grief movies. In truth, she was writing Python scripts, learning to decrypt files, following the digital breadcrumbs of a man she thought she knew. Weeks turned into months, and one night, buried in code, she found something, a wallet address. A 42-character string that looked meaningless, but when she pasted it into a blockchain explorer, her heart stopped. The balance, 217.43 Bitcoin. Over $9 million. Hidden. Untouched. The next folder revealed the truth. A failed merger, bribes to silence partners, and an unsigned digital contract linking Peter and Lydia to a crypto laundering scheme under a shell startup registered in Belize. The man she had loved had not just betrayed her, he had betrayed himself. For days, Ellen debated what to do. Report it? Hide it? Spend it? Then she saw Lydia's face for the first time. A LinkedIn profile. Young, brilliant. Bio. Founder Phoenix Systems. Building digital freedom through code. Ellen stared at her picture, the confident eyes, the poised smile. The kind of woman the world called visionary, while women Ellen's age were called retired. But that night, something cracked open inside her. For the first time since Peter's death, she didn't cry. Instead, she wrote a new line of code, a script that traced Lydia's addresses. Then a message, encrypted in the same format Peter had used. Asterisk if you're still watching and enjoying. This I really appreciate it if you could drop a quick comment. It helps a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Your support truly means the world and keeps us going strong. Now let's continue. The widow knows. And she's not done learning. She sent it to Lydia's inbox and waited. Days later, an email arrived from Lydia. No greeting. Just a single line. You're smarter than he said. Ellen smiled. For the first time, she felt the hum of power that Peter must have lived in. But hers wasn't built on deceit. It was born of awakening. She started something new. Asterisk. The transformation was slow, like dawn breaking over the bay. She enrolled in a coding boot camp for women over 50 anonymously. Most students were half her age, some a third. They spoke fast, thought faster, but Ellen had something they didn't: discipline. Patience, the long memory of someone who had cataloged 1,000 lives before her own. The instructors noticed. Her classmates admired her quiet persistence. She began to share her story in fragments, never the affair, never the betrayal, but the learning. The joy of solving puzzles. The way code could feel like poetry when read in the right rhythm. Soon, she started a small blog, The Widow's Password. It wasn't about grief, it was about rediscovery. Posts like how I learned to debug my life and syntax of survival. It spread, quietly at first. Then virly.women wrote. To her from all over the world, teachers, nurses, mothers, retirees, each one saying the same thing. I thought it was too late for me. A year later, Ellen stood on a stage in San Francisco, speaking at a digital literacy conference. The auditorium gleamed with tech elites and journalists, cameras flashing. Her voice, calm and deliberate, cut through the noise. I used to believe the future belonged to the young, that we, the women who built homes and histories, were just witnesses to it, but I was wrong. The future belongs to anyone who chooses to understand it, even if it takes a lifetime to begin. Applause rose. Flashbulbs popped. Somewhere she imagined Lydia watching the live stream, perhaps smiling, perhaps not. That night, Ellen returned home to her quiet house, now filled with the hum of new machines, the glow of ideas not yet born. She poured herself a glass of wine, opened her laptop, and scrolled through the messages she received. Then she noticed something strange, an anonymous donation of 10 Bitcoin to her foundation. The sender's tag read simply, Phoenix.Lydia.Ellen leaned back, her eyes glistening not from sadness, but from the strange grace of it all. Two women, bound by betrayal, now tethered by rebirth. Months later, she traveled to Austin. Not to confront, but to understand. The city was humid, alive with startups and second chances. She found Lydia's office modern glass, soft green plants, the smell of ambition in the air. Lydia was waiting. No hostility, no fear. Just silence between two women who had lived through the same storm. They spoke little. Lydia handed her a USB drive. This was Peter's final build, she said quietly. It's yours now. Ellen nodded. No, ours. Let's make it right. And together they did. They launched the Phoenix Project. Foundation that turned Peter's corrupted code into an educational platform for women over 50 learning digital skills. A symbolic resurrection, not of him, but of what could have been good Dot in the following years. Ellen became a quiet legend in Silicon Valley circles. They called her the librarian of code. Her foundation grew, spreading across states, teaching women how to protect themselves in the digital world, how to read, write, and fight back through knowledge. And sometimes when she looked out her office window at dusk, she would think of Peter Dot not with hatred, but with an odd gratitude. He had built a world to hide in. She had built one to live in. Years later, when Ellen turned 65, she finally closed Peter's old laptop for good. She placed it in a small wooden box and wrote on the lid, "The password is purpose." Then she walked outside into the California sunset, her phone buzzing with another message from a woman she'd never met someone. Somewhere saying, "Your story made me start again." Ellen smiled. She had spent a lifetime shelving other people's stories. Now she had written her own. Asterisk, 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 asterisk.